Section 20. Liability of company. I got back to my office thinking about the conduct of the school management team. I looked at how best to create a count charge to accommodate their conduct in this entire crime. There were many suspects in this case with different count charges, but I felt since they were all united with one intention, the count charge was going to be the first count. The suspects would be charged for conspiracy, which showed they all had common intention to disfigure Jumai so she would lose her boyfriend, who was now Alima's ex. Alima, on the other hand, would be charged as the principal offender because she actually perfected the offense and stood to benefit the most. Mrs. Adamu would get a count charge of counseling Alima to commit the offense. This was because Section 17 had overruled the defense she made, that what she had told Alima to do was different from what she did. The last suspect was charged for accessory after the fact, for helping Alima hide the empty bottle labeled H, knowing she was tampering with police exhibit. I suspected she was not the only person that tampered with police exhibit in this case. The storekeeper had done likewise, but it was apparent that she was just following orders to keep her job. After taking the new suspect's statement, I felt it wasn't fair to make the storekeeper pay for an action she had been compelled to take. I prepared an interim report stating my findings and the need to bring the school management team in for questioning. My team leader called me to throw more light on my request, given it was the school management that had complained from the outset. I quickly corrected that impression. Jumai was the complainant, not the school management. The school management only came up as a custodian of essential evidence that would help prosecute the offender. That was until they started tampering with the evidence for their own personal interests. I pointed out that the school management might have compromised, just like my former IPO had. I suggested that they might have been bought over by Alima's father. My team leader gave me the green light to invite them, but he cautioned me that it would be disastrous if I failed to prove that money exchanged hands with the principal suspect's father and the management of the school. I sent out the invitation letter some days later. The school management came to the office with a team of lawyers. I took their statements and requested for all the board members and management team to furnish me with their account numbers and BVNs, which they did. With the help of the legal unit, I used the information to file a motion requesting for their account statements as well as other accounts traced to their BVNs. It was a complete dead end. Nothing concrete was retrieved, but we were able to gather that a member of the school management team had used his credit card to pay for drinks at a certain hotel. And when we followed up on the hotel's CCTV footage, we discovered that some of the members of the school management team actually had a meeting with Alima's father. In the footage, Alima's father was seen handing them a briefcase, but we could not establish the content of the briefcase to determine if it was a bribe. Nonetheless, that did not stop us from charging them. We called the management team members who were present in that meeting, and they all said the same thing, that they had decided to meet with the suspect's father because he did not want to come to the school. He felt if he came to the school, he would be mobbed by reporters that might compel him to give an unexpected speech. "Officer, is it a crime for us to see the suspect's father?" they asked me. I did not respond because I knew it was not an offense. Is the suspect's father also an offender? And if he is, why isn't he here? It was another interesting and rather embarrassing question because I was pushing to see if they had received bribe. For an offense of bribery and corruption to be established, both the person giving the money and the person receiving it had to be suspects. But Alima's father was not a suspect in this case. Their team of lawyers was patiently waiting for me to exhaust my options, which obviously I had. Then one of the lawyers, a female, walked up to me. "I hope you are ready to meet us in court. We are going to sue you for damages and ask that 10 million naira be pulled from your salary till your pension. If my team leader was present, I knew he would have said, "I told you to be careful with involving the school management." All the suspects, including the storekeeper, walked into my office, and then a lawyer from legal came in and handed me copies of the charge sheet. I gave the female lawyer in front of me a copy. "We'll see in court in the next 1 hour," I said to her. "Your clients have been charged for liability of company, as stated in Section 20 of the Criminal Laws of Lagos State 2015. Subsection 2 of the law clearly states that an act or omission under this law is that of a company where it is done or omitted to be done by its officer." This clearly tied the storekeeper's action to putting the school in a position where the management breached Section 20 of the Criminal Laws of Lagos State 2015. The lawyer went through the section and looked at me. I could see the confusion in her eyes. I smiled mischievously. "You don't want to go to court again?" She remained dumbfounded. I walked out of the office with all the suspects lined up behind me. They were all in handcuffs, including the members of the school management team. You could tell from the looks on their faces that they hadn't seen this coming. And to make it worse, their team of lawyers was confused on how best to advise them on the next course of action.
This work of fiction is a production of COSPEAKS, composed and written by Chidi Okoye, narrated by Ikenna Igwe, sound production by Glaze Entertainment, graphics by Illostroking Creatives, video production by Chachi World Entertainment, video editing by Stevie Beleche Triple Nolly TV, technical support by Kings Media. Thank you for viewing.